Hello everyone, welcome back again to a major update in regards to keeping up with Ned Nwoko and Regina Daniels. There's been a lot of update left and right, but I'm going to bring it to you in sequence. So when I say in sequence, it was Ned Nwoko's update that came first. Afterwards, then Regina Daniels also made a major update where she was like, you know what, you can't shame the shameless. So let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Thatmumof5 and also known as TMO5 kind of cool. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So right now I am in a lot of mixed feelings, but I'm going to bring the updates to you guys, and I think at this point I'm going to be keeping my opinion to myself. Maybe I might be chipping in one or few of my opinions, but I really want us to dive into the major updates that Ned Nwoko dropped, Regina Daniels dropped, Regina Daniels' sister-in-law, so that will be Sammy's girlfriend. She also dropped a update. So there's been loads of major updates. So I don't know if this video is going to be in parts, but I'm going to try and see how I get them, because I don't want the video to be extra too long. I want you guys to be able to watch it, because the purpose of me coming out with all of these videos is to ensure that we are learning lessons from these shenanigans going on. I'm hoping those who are just about to get married are learning, and also, like I said, there are going to be lessons for you all to take. But first, let's start with Ned Nwoko's update. Okay, so I'm going to screenshot it here and I'm going to read it to you. So Ned Nwoko said, "These videos show Sammy, Regina's brother, repeatedly coming to my home and harassing my children and domestic staff, especially whenever I was not around. His visits were often aggressive and disruptive." I'm going to drop this video here for you guys to watch. Okay.
I know they that one. Oh, but attacker. I know they that. I don't do what you want to do. Come up here.
Who is the person driving the car?
I see they explain, give the police and say no, she's not going anywhere. No, who is he?
I said that she's going. Like this.
You're explaining to him. Who calls him?
You are trying, don't worry.
No, you are doing for your level. I know that's what you have to do for your level. But who goes in for she to explain where she want to go? For police.
You are good.
What be that?
You are a very good boy. Don't worry.
So you guys saw that video there. Leave your thought and opinion in regards to that video that Ned Nwoko provided. So let's continue reading the post. "This is someone I sponsored through his last 2 years at the University of Ekpoma. I bought his musical instrument, rented and furnished a flat for him in Abuja, in addition to the house I bought for Regina in Asaba before our marriage for the use of all of them. I also routinely provided allowances to all members of the family, including our mother, Rita Daniel. Indeed, in the last 2 years, I have a record of transferring 125 million to her alone. Ned Nwoko, you are her husband, you are her in-law, so automatically you're going to assume some sort of responsibility for marrying their coin, their breadwinner, because Regina said in a video where she was like, oh, that shit, that she was the one who was a breadwinner of her home. So for the fact that you married her, you automatically take over that responsibility. Ekpa, what's wrong with you?" Anyway, it continued, "When Regina started her rehabilitation, there was a clear instruction by the doctors to strictly restrict people, especially her enablers, from having access to her. The therapy was arranged after I noticed troubling changes in her behavior linked to her dependence on certain illegal substances, including going for 48 hours without sleeping and eating every 2 hours. Unfortunately, Sammy, Destiny, some of her siblings, together with a few of their friends, notably Sonia, Uche, Montana, among others, constantly defied those instructions. They would come into the house uninvited, sometimes forcing their way in, and would bring her the same DRUGS she was being treated for. Instead of helping her recover, they encouraged her addiction and completely frustrated the efforts of the doctors and therapists working with her. Though it is important to know that Lawrence, Sammy, his girlfriend NK, Destiny, Sonia, and others also took the same drugs as Regina. In fact, Lawrence and Sammy were the ones who first introduced and supplied these drugs to her. They were deeply involved in the habits themselves, and rather than helping her get better, they kept drawing her back into the same destructive lifestyle. I do not drink alcohol nor smoke. In fact, I am a vegetarian." Clap for yourself. "So I found these characters and behaviors reprehensible and totally unacceptable. Just 4 weeks ago, I woke up around 5 a.m. and realized that Regina was in my room and on the phone. She was clearly high, and she knows that I do not want her in my room in that condition. I asked her to go to her room, and she told me that Sammy's girlfriend was in her room. I was alarmed and angry because that girl should never have been in my house, let alone around Regina, since she is one of the enablers who constantly bring her the substances she's addicted to. So Regina was in your room in that state. Well, Regina said otherwise, guys. You guys will see that video, okay? I told Regina that the girl had to leave, and one of my drivers dropped her off. 30 minutes later, Sammy came to my house shouting and demanding that I come downstairs to face him. He said I had no right to ask his girlfriend to leave my house. He was ranting and threatening, waking up everyone, including the children. I eventually went downstairs and had to instruct the security to physically push him out of my compound. The level of audacity was shocking. Without the influence of drugs, could he have been so bold and disrespectful? They did not stop there. On several occasions, they verbally assaulted and intimidated the police officers stationed at the house for security. The officers were simply following instructions to restrict access for the sake of Regina's recovery, but Sammy and his group would insult and threaten them. Whenever Regina wanted to go out and I was not around, she would become extremely hostile toward the police and domestic staff. She would shout, threaten, and use abusive words, insisting that she must leave the house no matter what. At the end of the day, Regina is an adult. Like I said in my previous video when I was addressing Kemi Olonyo, whatever she does or what she was doing there is a matter of choice. She is grown enough. Whatever she was doing then is a matter of choice. I'm not condoning you being abusive to your employees, okay? But it's a choice. She's going to be held responsible for her actions at some point, right? So there were at least 2 serious incidents where she left home in the evening and did not return until the next day. The first incident, she returned in the morning around 9 a.m. When I asked her where she had been all night, she casually said she was at a nightclub. When I questioned why she would stay out all night, ignoring my calls and refusing to answer my messages, her response was, in quote, "You are not my father, so don't ask me where I was." I found out that she was with Cassie and that Cassie was staying in Regina's house in Life Camp. Cassie is the chemist and supplier of the group. I had to go to Life Camp at 6 p.m. to ask her to leave. With her around Regina, the therapy became a joke. On another occasion, on the kid's birthday to be precise, I returned home with the kids because Regina said she would stay with her Nollywood friends for dinner. She didn't return until 5 p.m. the next day, so I took so much nonsense just for the sake of the kids. I also knew that drugs had a lot to do with it. Okay, as to her reasons for continuing with drugs, she will always say, just like her mother, that it is a celebrity lifestyle. They will always mention 2 well-known pop stars. One thing is this, like I said, even your big boys that attend clubs, whatever in Nigeria, they use stuff like this recreationally. Just because they use things like this recreationally does not mean that they are irresponsible. They still go about being a good citizen. They still go about being a good father and stuff like that. As long as whatever they're doing is not rubbing across their loved ones, it's not rubbing across people around them, it's not affecting maybe their work, their job. And like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, I am not advocating for drug use. However, just because she's telling you why she's using it, and I was saying in that video to Kemi Olonyo that, did you ask her why she was on those alleged drugs? And when did she start taking drugs? Up until she was 17, before she married Ned Nwoko, there was no record or news of her ever being on substances. But once she got into Ned Nwoko's house and then this story started, typical of a Nigerian or African man, he came out to throw her under the bus because apparently Regina was no longer interested. In fact, Regina has not been interested in that marriage for a very long time. So girl was checking out, and man knew, Ekpa knew that Regina Daniels was about checking out of that union. And like I said, typical of an African man, what would he do? Bush, throw her under the bus. And we all said, like from previous videos I've done before, that is starting to look like a style here, like something that Ned Nwoko would do towards his wives. And if you look at all of the pictures of his wives, they are young, succulent, oyinbo tomato pepper soup. That's what they look like, right? It's starting to look like a pattern. If any of his wife fall out with him, it comes to social media, throw the drug allegations on them. But then we know better now, so let's keep listening. So it continued, imagine the pain of a husband trying to help his wife recover, only to have the process sabotaged by her siblings and friends, the very people who should have been supporting her healing. This pattern of behavior made it almost impossible for her to recover. Each time progress was made, they would undo it by smuggling in the same drug she was fighting to give up. The entire household lived in tension and fear because of their constant harassment, interference, and disregard for boundaries. At the end of the day, I think what's happening here is that Ned Nwoko knew about this drug use of Regina Daniels. In a way, it seems he's aware, or it was a part of it with Regina Daniels. It has now, when you now realize that it has now gone out of control with Regina Daniels, he decided to switch on her, hence why he threw her under the bus. That is what I think of all this. He continued, "It will be interesting to know our reasons for the violent behavior in the house the day that Sammy and other siblings came and attacked my staff and security, taking Regina away after doing a video which they posted the next day. Why did they do that video? Why did they post it? They simply planned and orchestrated a script in all in my absence, as per a family of Nollywood artists and actresses, right? Why did they post it? They simply planned and orchestrated a script in my absence, regardless of the fact that my kids were there. Those kids also belong to Regina Daniels, and those family of Regina Daniels are their uncles and their aunts. And Regina Daniels' mother is their grandma." It continued, "They took away many things from my house, including one of my phones, money, and many other items." Ned Nwoko, what is a mobile phone to you? What is a mobile phone to you? Everything that happened that day was in my house, in my absence. Nobody was beaten, and nobody could have contemplated that. It is blatantly false to say that I sent talks to be Regina in another house. The video that went viral was filmed entirely in front of my house by Regina's sister and her friend. It was a pure Nollywood scenario in front of my property in my absence. Yes, as per Nollywood family, and yes, you put it right well, as per Nollywood movie, as per Nollywood family, because yes, they are in the movie industry, right? So they planned everything to make you look like the bad person. Ned Nwoko, you are a bloody narcissist, and it's so shameful that you are in the House of Senate. It's so shameful that you are among one of the people that actually make laws for Nigerians to abide with. You are a super failure. Sammy should have a life of his own outside of Regina and focus on building his career independently. When his brother Lawrence went to London a couple of years ago to do his master's degree, I personally sponsored him with $75,000 for tuition and upkeep. I sent him abroad partly to help him escape the toxic environment of drug exposure and bad influence around them at the time. Out of fairness, I offered Sammy the same opportunity, but he declined, insisting he wanted to remain in Nigeria to pursue his music career. Unfortunately, he has since been arrested several times by both the police and the EFCC. His behavior has become increasingly violent and unstable. What he needs now is total rehabilitation and professional guidance. Otherwise, his aggression and self-destructive tendencies will only worsen. So that was the update there from Ned Nwoko. And when he made that post, internet went agog last night. I was hoping that the story was going to develop, and yet it developed while we were all sleeping. And then I woke up to this morning and I saw so many things. So Regina Daniels' brother Swizzy has an update and a response to what Ned Nwoko has alleged. So let me read that to you. So I'm going to put the post of Swizzy here. Swizzy said, "Oga Ned, post where you sent me 75k, I beg. I've built 3 houses in Nigeria. I drove more than 6 cars and still got 3 cars before I traveled to the UK, which none of your kids have driven or built. You always call me a big boy, common man. Why are you trying to push a wrong narrative? Your dirty narrative of trying to make all of us step down from the media for you to post this, you are a manipulator." Meanwhile, before Ned Nwoko made that post, Swizzy has stopped posting, Stanley on Top News has stopped posting, even Regina herself has stopped posting, except a post from Doris Ogala where she raised an alarm that Regina Daniels has locked herself up in the house. I'll put that there was no further post or anything in regards to Regina Daniels. So I was like, okay, maybe these people are coming to a resolution until Ned Nwoko dropped that update that I just read to you. So the other brother continued, "This fame you dey crave go over you. Leave us alone now, as we are all druggies. Leave us alone and face your other families. Only gullible people will believe you. Hayat, your daughter, is begging you to send her to the UK. Send her first, treat them right. Old man, wey dey lie anyhow. I've never raised my hand on any woman." And then Swizzy dropped a video of where it was alleging that with Shehu in the news, and I'm going to pop that video here for you to listen to what he said with Shehu Okebaloye on his news channel.
In all of this, how do you manage it? Because it's incredibly difficult, even being with a partner. Not talk of 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't have any regret.
The example I gave is this, you know. Just imagine telling you to stand on one leg. You know how difficult it is. But to stand on 2, 3, 4 is much more balanced. That's just the example I gave.
Wow.
Do you understand it? So I feel sorry for those who just have one wife, because it's difficult to stand on one leg.
And you don't have any regrets?
No.
If you have your way, you still
I
marry
will
more.
do the same thing again
and again.
Of course, yes.
And you have a knack of marrying beautiful women, young ones too.
This is the way it is. And that's the way it should be.
But you're not the ones that beat them.
You should marry who
Right?
you want to marry.
You're not the one that beats them.
No, come on. I am not a violent person. I respect my wives. I love them. And I love my kids. No, not that.
So you guys, Baba said he has never put his hand on Regina. So Susie continued, I dare you to post the receipt where he sent me $75,000. Now wait for Ned to call it a high voice to make I release more. Omo, you dey beg us to calm down for you to post. Oh yeah, we don't continue dragging innocent people. Sonia, Uche, Montana, and people that kick against your manipulation and abuse are also drug addicts. Ned, small now, 75k. I beg you must post receipt of 75k and the account you paid it into. I beg, make I post transaction history. So that was that post there from Susie, and then Susie dropped an audio where it was questioning Ned Nwoko if he actually slapped Regina Daniels or not.
You've lived in the UK for years. You know, you cannot go to a court in the UK here and tell the court I slapped her 2 times. You can't say that.
I will say that.
No, you won't say that in the UK. Yeah. You won't.
I will say that anywhere. Let me tell you.
In the UK?
Oh, yes. Let me tell you. I will slap if my wife does something.
And then Susie continued, this boy was the president of Visionary Youth Campaign for your election. He made sure 500 people from his camp voted you. He wasn't a drug supplier then. Free my boy. He is and will remain my favorite brother till I die. If you like, call kidnapper, now my blood. So that was that update there from Susie, Regina Daniels' brother, okay? So like I said, Stanley on top also, I don't know how Stanley on top is to Regina Daniels' family, but he's been like, you know, dropping stuff and you're like, okay. Even Cutie Juice is a bit ahead of most of us. Yeah, Cutie Juice will be dropping snippets, and then when she talks something, you see that the thing she said actually makes sense. So here Cutie Juice posted that Stanley, Biko, Ekpa don't give you money before. Ekpa is coming, oh, Stanley run, and Stanley said, run go where? Abuja, here I come. So after the Ned Nwoko released that update there, Stanley on top said Regina Daniels needs to come out and defend herself now. She shouldn't allow anyone tell her story for her. Gina love, it's time to let the hurt choose. It's time to let the hurt loose. Everyone, it's time. And then Stanley continued, Ekpa never loved Regina. All was a camouflage. Obi Agbawalam, free Sammy, hashtag.
I can make you love me.
And then Stanley on top obviously replying or reacting or responding to what Ned Nwoko said about training Sammy in school. So Stanley on top said, I trained Sammy in university. I bought house for Regina in Nasaba. I have given 125 million to Mom Rita Daniels. I did this and did that for Regina Daniels. Aren't you ashamed of yourself, Ekpa? You can't shame the shameless. Oh my god, I am heartbroken. Oh my dear Gina, this too shall pass. Hashtag free Sammy West now. No damage control will be tolerated. So it continued, are you sure this man is fine? Mention the drugs you said Gina was abusing her. Sammy's daughter was playing with Moon and Moon started crying next. You ordered your driver to bundle the little girl and her mom out of your house at about 4 a.m. in midnight. So Sammy came back and questioned you, why will you send my daughter and wife from your house by 4 a.m. All you could do was to order your security to bundle him out from your house. We get full gist. We never won't post them until the Daniels gives us a go ahead. Wow. Playing the victim card won't solve your problems. Ekpa, hashtag free Sammy West. And then Stanley continued, Ekpa give you money for borehole or he no give you money. So that was because Very Dark Man came out to say, oh, he has spoken to Ned Nwoko. Ned Nwoko watched my videos and he said that he won't be arresting Rita Daniels, and obviously Ned Nwoko was going to arrest Rita Daniels' mother. But the reason why he said he wants to arrest her was because there was a narrative that his son who passed away in the UK died from obviously drug substances. It's report. So apparently Stanley on top is replying to the news that at the end of the day, Very Dark Man did not speak to Ned Nwoko, that it was all a lie. Rattel, una no get life. Una king no get life at all. So this is who Stanley on top is replying to say, Ekpa give you money for borehole or he no give you money. Oh she, ole, Kashif is very responsible man. Yeah. Now why you want sell Regina to free Aqua? Money indeed rules the world. And then Stanley on top continues saying, make I hear say una Kashifi's call out who give her money to do borehole. I know him won't tell the rabbits. I be una won't hear the gist. How Ekpa gave una activist money for borehole. Now why fear no go let and drag him. It was in Ekpa's DM begging him for funds to do borehole. I don't collect money. I am a man of integrity. Blah 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 blah. He is secretly begging politicians for aid. Wow wow wow. So that was that on obviously Stanley on top as to what has been going on. So guys, leave your thought and opinion on all I've just read to you. Obviously from Ekpa saying, dropping that statement of Regina Daniels and her family, blah 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 blah, and also Regina Daniels' brother Sweezy replying to him, and all of those videos that was shared and the voice message that was shared as well. And lastly, Very Dark Man coming out to say that, I spoke to Ekpa. Ekpa is no longer going to arrest Regina Daniels' mother. So obviously that was a lie. There's a narrative going on that he lied, that I think he called. I'm going to put the post that I saw that he called and immediately Ned Nwoko realized who he was. He passed him to his PA or something. I'm going to post that post there, so you guys might have to maybe pause this video to read that post that he allegedly lied about, obviously calling and begging. And that, guys, you know what, leave all of your thought and opinion in the comment section, because this story is getting deeper. So apparently Very Dark Man lied about him calling Ned Nwoko to release to not arrest Regina Daniels' mother. So I'm going to put the post here and read it together with you. So this post said, believe anything this very dirty boy says at your own risk. Senator Ned Nwoko's PA has already come out to debunk all his lies. If I can find that debunking, I'll put it here. If not, we'll rely on this post, okay? He called, and the moment Ned Nwoko realized it was him, he immediately directed the call to his PA. He asked what happened, and I made it clear it's a family issue, not something for bloggers or social media. VDM said, I'm not a blogger. I just heard the senator wants to arrest his wife and mother. And I responded, that's not true. His brother was arrested because he lied that his son died in the UK due to drug abuse, not because of the issue at hand. And that was how the call ended. And this person, obviously, our opinion was that this very dirty boy can lie for the whole of Africa. Do you really think anyone would want to associate with a blackmailer like you? You already condemned him condemned him without hearing from him, and still expect them to speak with you. Not everyone is foolish or dumb like you rats, okay? You're just chasing attention, acting like a singer without a stage. You're no longer relevant in this cyberspace. You've been rendered useless since everyone got access to your noodles on that adult site. I spoke to Ned Nwoko, was a surprise. Make I use this opportunity. Apparently that's a post there. So guys, leave your thought and opinion about the Rattle King, okay? It's absolutely getting really, really deep. With that being said, guys, leave all of your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. If you've watched this video tonight, if you're not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notifications so that by the time I drop the next update, you will be the first to get it, okay? Thank you, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.